Dzień dobry moi drodzy, widzowie, ustawiłem grafikę na domyślną i z powrotem jest w miarę porządnie i nawet gra lepiej wygląda niż na moim grzebaniu ustawieniach, gdzie wygrzebałem, moi drodzy, zejście do 20 zakichanych klatek na sekundę, za to wam przepraszam, przepraszam. Okej. Przede wszystkim przejdźmy może, moi drodzy, do dziennika. Główne, mały krok, moi drodzy. Czyli tutaj już wszystkie pozbierałem, jeżeli chodzi o zadania równe, drobne i tak dalej. Chyba tak, to wykonamy, to te zadanka drobne wykonamy, moi drodzy, tą całą drobnicę, którą wyzbieraliśmy. W takiej następnej kolejności. Tutaj są...
Hey, if you got a problem with me, just say it. I don't want any of this passive aggressive.
Punkt informacyjny.
Sergeant Yumi is looking for reliable people to help the guard. Contact him if you're interested. We'd all appreciate it.
I cyk, jedziemy, moi drodzy. Będziemy musieli tam sobie pogadać. To i owo ustalić. Okej, wziąć główny quest. Jak już weźmiemy, to zrobimy sobie te questy poboczne. Proste.
One day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis for good.
Jakaś winda. Na razie tam nie będziemy wchodzić. Tak patrzę, moi drodzy. Co ja patrzę, jakby to powiedzieć. Ale nie! Na tych domyślnych ustawieniach gra mi trzyma klatki.
The water is quite aesthetically pleasing, or so Baron has told me.
Więc
New
niech we
Atlantis
przy czym co
relies
gra
on
domyślnie
advanced
ustawiła dobrze.
hydroelectrics for most of its power.
You are still fighting the colony war. We just need to convince her that President Abeyo
To
isn't
też
the same
wydają mi się
as
randomy.
that an adversarial UC is a sin of the
Czyli to jest to wielkie drzewo.
Should any United Colony citizens
Ale fakt, że nie postawili tutaj ławek, gdzie można by sobie, moi drodzy... A nie, są jakieś ławki, nie, są ławki, są. Gdzie można sobie przysiąść i poczytać. Nie, dobra. Sorry, zwracam honor, widzę, że tutaj postawiliście miejsca do wygodnego klapnięcia dupy. O! Kim ty jesteś?
I'm sorry, I really can't afford to be distracted. I need to get to the bottom of this.
Coś nie tak? Wygląda zmartwionego.
Yes. Concerned is an understatement. I work for the scientific division of MAST. I've been studying this tree for quite some time, and it appears to be exhibiting some worrying signs. Are you familiar with this particular specimen? Do you understand its importance? Look, I have a lot of work to do here. If you're just going to gawk, I'd ask that you move on. If you can actually assist me, however, I would appreciate it. I don't normally solicit help from random passersby, but it seems an exception is necessary. Would you be willing to retrieve some additional data for me?
Z radością pomogę, mordo.
That's... Thank you. That's unexpected.
Jesteś naukowcem,
There's a series
więc...
of biosensors I've placed in various locations around New Atlantis, all calibrated to gather pertinent information. They've been running for long enough that I think it's time to collect and analyze their findings. If you would bring them to me, that would save time.
Okej, czyli mamy, moi drodzy, kolejny quest. Ale tak jak mówię, najpierw pogadanie z głównym. Okej, najpierw główny quest, moi drodzy, a potem będziemy się pierdzielić z czujnikami. Ale generalnie bardzo estetycznie zrobione. Szkoda, że ja mam tylko gamingowego lapka, a nie na przykład potężnego gamingowego kompa.
No, I'm not feeling that bad.
We have an appointment. You're seeing the doctor. That's it.
Dobra.
I talked to your boss. She agreed that you need to take care of yourself. I know it's the funny.
Nawet nie chodzi mi o to, żeby wykonać do końca główny quest, tylko żeby go popchnąć dalej.
The well's been having brownouts all the time. Mass finally sent
A natomiast
someone down
potem
there,
będzie
but
zwiedzanko.
nothing's changed.
Nawet mamy drobne zadania, więc ten. Więc szczerze mówiąc, będzie co robić.
We may be in a United Colonies city, but Constellation is an entirely neutral entity, and always has been.
Another day, another shift.
Dobra, czyli tu mamy się udać.
Here we are, the lodge. The front door should unlock if you hold up the watch that Barrett gave you. I have messaged the other members of Constellation. They will be waiting for us inside.
Nie ma to jak otwieranie drzwi zegarkiem.
Captain, everyone
Ale
will
to
be
jest,
in
moi
the
drodzy,
library,
elegancja.
just inside. If Barrett were here, he'd probably tell you that you're part of something bigger now, and he hopes you'll make this place your home.
Oh. Ridiculous. Easiest bet I'll ever win. We appear to have a visitor.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. Would you care to tell us what happened to our friend? Why you're here and he isn't?
Atak piratów. Barrett poprosił mnie o dostarczenie.
I see. Vasco, verify.
All statements made have been factual.
This is just typical. Barrett hands over our ship and our robot to some random employee of that discount mining outfit he uses.
Walter.
And if we hadn't insisted on installing those emergency protocols, I guarantee you this rock breaker here would be halfway to Neon.
But that didn't happen. He's here with the artifact.
Thank you, Matteo. Now, let's focus on what's in front of us, shall we? What happened when it was extracted? Did anyone see anything? Hear anything?
Pojawiło się...
Interesting. Similar to Barrett's description of the experience, with less embellishment.
Are you hearing this? Do you all believe me now?
Whether it happened or not wasn't in doubt. But honestly, Country, if you expect us to believe in fairy tales...
If this is the greatest mystery in the universe, why couldn't it be part of the ultimate mystery?
Ale ładny macie wystrój, staroziemski.
Noel, I think it's time we tested your theory.
Right. Let's see. We know the artifacts react to each other. The pieces we already have move when they're in close contact. Now, if we add this new one to the two we already have...
The artifact. If you can place it on the table here.
Co się stanie teraz?
That's it. Just like the others.
And to imagine, we thought there were only two of them at first.
Oh my god, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. That energy that's arcing between them, no manufactured material in the settled systems can do that. None of them. This proves
Easy, girl. Breathe. You'll have a heart attack.
She's not the only one. If they're
Wow!
That means there's a set.
Zajebiście.
Built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
Still 2,000 credits for our little wager, Godric?
You're on, Walter.
Well, if we had all the answers, it wouldn't be exciting. Now, would it?
Not to take away from the moment, but what are we going to do about our new friend here?
So, are you ready to get to work? See if exploration is the life you want to lead in this little universe of ours?
Ile wiecie o artefaktach?
Individually, they're just odd hunks of metal. Another oddity from the uncharted reaches of space. As to what they are, what they're building, well, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now.
Co to oznacza? Czego
We're all
oczekujecie?
here because we're committed to exploring space. Humanity may have settled the stars, but that doesn't mean we should stop diving into the unknown.
Kupiłaś mnie tym
Beyond
mordo
that,
jak paczkę
you'll be
felków.
expected to use your own judgment, just like the rest of us.
W porządku, dawaj.
You should take some time to get settled in. Introduce yourself to everyone. Some of our members aren't here, but you'll meet them soon. Come find me when you're ready. You and I are going to be doing some traveling together. Get your feet wet. And here, I think you've earned something for bringing the artifact to us. In addition to credits, why don't we set you up with a backpack with some boost capability? You'll need it out in the field anyway. Just mind your head.
I hope you are satisfied with the...
Okej, punkt rangi, moi drodzy. I 8000 kredytów. Może by wziąć drugi poziom perswazji. A, trzeba ukończyć wyzwanie poprzedniej. Nie fizyczne, nie bojowe. Może naukowe albo techniczne. Z naukowych nie ma. Moim zdaniem geologię sobie wezmę. Z naukowych. Zamierzam, moi drodzy, robić takiego naukowca, badacza, uczonego, dyplomatę, jak, moi drodzy, w tym. Owszem, broń będzie przydatna, ale moi towarzysze też mogą strzelać. I tak gram na łatwym.
I hope Barrett makes it back to us. I know he gets into trouble all the time. Everyone just sort of accepts he'll be fine, but still. That was intense, wasn't it? The artifacts, I mean. Sorry, this must all be a little overwhelming for you right now. I guess a lot overwhelming, now that I think about it. I'm Noelle. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us.
Jak długo pracujesz tutaj?
Well, Constellation's been around forever, more than 50 years now. But we only became aware of the artifacts recently. Barrett discovered the first one about 2 years ago, right under our noses. And he was the one who got this all in motion. It's a shame he isn't here to see this.
Ta wizja, która mi się ukazała, czym twoim zdaniem była?
Oh, right, that. If we're approaching this rationally, I suppose we'd call them visual and auditory hallucinations. What you perceived as lights and music could be overloaded neural input, your brain's attempt to make sense of something. An energy surge, some other phenomenon.
To nie była... Barrett też coś zobaczył?
He did. At the time, well, it's Barrett. We weren't sure if he was kidding around. Clearly, he wasn't.
W ogóle to dobry voice acting tu mają. To nie była przypadkowa aktywacja synaps.
Sure, I'm not trying to suggest otherwise. I wasn't there when it happened. I'm just thinking it through. It's okay. Now that this has happened to both you and Barrett, we can know to maybe expect it in the future. Be a little more prepared. We're all in this together now, right?
Zastanawiam się nad innymi.
Of course. There's plenty of planets out there that no one has ever set foot on, and everything we learn about them is valuable. We have a board where we post anything specific we're looking for. A type of alien flora or fauna, or a planet with a specific quality, like if it's primed to have life but doesn't yet.
Wygląda na to, że dużo wiesz o tych artefaktach.
Oh gosh, no. I mean, that's flattering, but really, we're making this up as we go. Until you arrived, we only had the two, and the vaguest sense that there was something more at work. There's still so much we don't know, and that means a lot of work ahead of us.
Powiedz ci, jak mogę pomóc?
Well, right now nothing's off the table. Metallurgical analysis, chemical composition. I'm looking at everything. One thing I'm really trying to improve is my overall database of xenobiology. I don't know if it will help in this case, but the more we know about, well, everything, the better off we are, right?
Zgoda.
Speaking of, if you're going to be out there looking for more artifacts, you're bound to come across some interesting specimens. Anything organic, I'd be happy to take it off your hands.
Organiczne rzeczy. W jaki sposób mogą pomóc nam w nauce
I
artefaktów?
can't be certain that they will, but more data points are always a good thing. I don't want to rule out anything that could provide a breakthrough. And if it sweetens the deal, I can pay. Pretty well, too. Walter's pockets may not be bottomless, but they are pretty deep.
No i...
Anything I can learn from is a help. Planning on sticking around then? I think we can find a spot for you. Right. So you've seen the library, obviously. Walter's quite
I hope
proud
you're still
of the
glad
collection,
you joined Constellation.
But Mateo has
No,
made more than a few contributions.
Just making sure. Bright
Gardens
young
are
girl
out the
like
doors
you,
there.
There are
if you
no
need a moment
shortage of
quiet
opportunities.
contemplation. Emphasis on the quiet part, at least usually. Let's head upstairs. Sebastian Banks, Constellation's founder, had this place built decades ago.
Ale ogólnie
It was
bardzo
a bit to do at the
eleganckie
time,
miejsce,
but most people in the
staroziemski
city have
styl.
forgotten we're here.
Bardzo eleganckie miejsce w staroziemskim stylu. Generalnie zarąbiste. Spore! Ale oczywiście swoich nie będę okradać. No, nie ma bata.
So this is the bar. Usually no tender, so help yourself, within reason, of course. Now let's see about that room. You're in luck. We were almost at max occupancy already, but there's still one room up for grabs. It's been nice having the place so full.
Spory budyneczek tutaj macie.
Okay, this'll be you. Common room on one side, so that'll be quiet, and Mateo on the other side, so maybe a little less quiet. I'm sure Sarah has something planned for each of us, so I'd better get back to it. Don't want to keep her waiting too long. Enjoy.
Dobra. Teraz pogadamy z pozostałymi. Hyc.
I feel like I've been waiting my whole life for this. Constellation, the artifacts. That doesn't sound crazy, does it? Are you doing okay? I'm not sure anyone really asked yet. Don't want you to think we're focused on the artifacts and nothing else. You matter too. You've done something really significant bringing that artifact here. I'm Mateo, theological scholar by trade, but now, well, an explorer like you. It's really good to have you with us.
Co sądzisz o mojej wizji?
I'm not gonna lie, I really wish I could have seen this for myself. It's hard to judge otherwise. Both you and Barrett saw something. I don't think that's a coincidence. Did it feel like it was trying to tell you something? I don't want to necessarily use the words divine revelation, but you know, if the label fits.
You're around the module, like almost all the time. Doesn't that bother your wife?
Wiem, że nigdy nie
That
spotkało...
sure lines up with everything else about these artifacts.
I'm told that when I'm not
It's all
here, I'm
connected.
distracted by what I might be
We're gonna
missing.
get to the bottom of this. We just need more data, which means more artifacts.
Irascible. My darling Issa
Co
has
sprowadziło cię do
Well,
konstelacji?
there was some overlap in interests. I'd spent years searching for religious relics from human history. I had made a really incredible discovery, only to lose it to a greedy corporation. So I tried to steal it back. In the process, I met Walter. Turned out he owned the corporation. After a long talk, we realized we had a lot in common, and I was invited to join Constellation.
Artefakty pochodzą z jaskiń?
Second one was on Kazal, buried the same as the one you found. But the first one, right under our noses for years, sitting in storage, masquerading as an oversized paperweight. Can you imagine potentially the greatest discovery in human history collecting dust?
Dobra.
Take care of yourself.
Pogadajmy jeszcze z
Sarah's the
tobą.
best possible person to be running Constellation at a time like this. Focused, no nonsense, and dedicated. Well, I suppose calling you a rock breaker may have been a bit out of line.
Nazywano mnie go
Still doesn't excuse it. My frustrations lie more with Barrett, not the first time his shenanigans have jeopardized one of our ventures. Not fair of me to take it out on you, especially since it would seem he made the right call this time. So, let's start over, shall we? Walter Stroud, CEO of Stroud Eklund, member of Constellation, and oft-times grumpy old man. Welcome aboard.
Cieszę się, że tu jest.
By the way, in addition to a place to stay, the lodge has a wealth of modification and research equipment. Spacesuit customization, pharmaceutical manufacturing,
O, fajne
testing
opcje.
alien substances, the whole thing. You can even fashion industrial pieces for large-scale projects, if you don't mind extracting a few raw resources from a nearby planet, that is. I'm a fan of self-reliance, so I encourage you to make use of the tools we have to build what you need.
Jakiego rodzaju firmą jest Stroud Eklund?
We're most well known for ship manufacture. No expense spared. If you want the best and can afford it, you choose Stroud Eklund. Unfortunately, our success means you'll sometimes see Stroud Eklund ship modules on less than reputable vessels. They covet them. The bastards. I've tried to convince the United Colonies we can help in that regard, but they're married to Deimos Star Yards, and those old salts are stuck in the glory days.
Myśli, że moja wizja to ją
Up
napra?
until very recently, I'd likely have dismissed it as, I don't know, hallucinations. But now, I'm not sure what to think. I don't suppose you have a history of this sort of thing, do you?
Pierwszy raz w życiu.
Yes, I imagined as much. Barrett expressed something similar in his own unique way. I'm no scientist. I leave that to the likes of Barrett and young Noel there. But I think we can all agree there's something unusual going on here. Frankly, this is the most exciting thing that's happened in years.
Jaka jest twoja rola?
Me? Why, I'm the wallet. Someone has to fund all this, and all my success in business doesn't mean much if I can't put it to good use. I don't pretend to have the daring of Ms. Morgan, or the smarts of young Mateo, but I can make sure that they have the resources they need. And, as you've now seen, those resources aren't being wasted. We're onto something big here.
To nie jest miejsce, gdzie można...
Funny thing about companies. You build one sturdy enough, it doesn't need you there all the time to prop it up. Stroud Eklund functions quite well on a day-to-day basis, leaving me time to devote to more esoteric pursuits. For years, I was captivated by the writings of Constellation's founder, Sebastian Banks. I finally decided to do something more than admire from a distance, and so now I call the lodge home, as much as anywhere else.
Dobra.
Until next time.
Okej, i pogadajmy w celu kontynuowania wątku,
Ever
moi
since I got
drodzy.
here, this is
Bo
not my home.
to jest
So,
ważne.
are you ready to get to work? Or was there something else?
Co wiecie o artefaktach?
Not much, but you've seen them for yourself. It doesn't take a lot to realize we're dealing with something extraordinary. Just what that is, we'll have to figure out. It's what we do.
I jak dobrze znana jest
I don't
konstelacja?
know what you've heard, but I can imagine. First of all, I think you can dismiss any stories about us no longer existing. I don't believe in smearing our name everywhere we can. Exploring the universe, charting the unknown, that's what counts. Besides, having a little mystery gives us room to maneuver. A fixed reputation could fence us in a lot of ways.
Czym się zajmujecie?
We're explorers. Humanity has always hunted for knowledge in the unknown. We just take that a little more seriously than others. We were founded decades ago by a man named Sebastian Banks. He wanted a small group of people from all corners of the settled systems dedicated to the biggest question of all. What's out there? These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. Another great secret the universe is asking us to unravel.
Ruszajmy.
We're going to be doing some old-fashioned detective work. The artifacts are relatively inert once they're out of bedrock. That means people can pass them around, not even knowing what they are. I've been letting my contacts know to be on the lookout for strange metal objects. Get back a lot of noise, usually, but a tip from the UC Vanguard sounds promising.
Inni mają artefakty?
We have to assume that we're not the only ones to have stumbled into this mystery. But most people aren't going into space looking for the unknown. They're looking for places to settle, resources to extract, territory to defend. An odd-looking rock or a single strange hunk of metal wouldn't mean much to them. That's why Constellation exists, in a way, to put pieces like this together. A volunteer force that helps defend the edges of United Colonies space. They're always looking for recruits. Lots of retired veterans and dangerous professionals mixed in with part-timers who barely have a laser cannon welded to a hull. My contact is in the recruiting office, so he hears a lot about what the volunteers are up to.
Dobrze, to wiem.
Jumping to anthropology on me already? Oh, well, good. We all need our own reasons to be out there. But it's not just that. I want to take this opportunity to see how you handle yourself, and for you to learn more about us. I'm going to be sticking with you for this. We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
Jasne.
We'll need to head to Mast. Check in with the Vanguard recruiting office where my contact works. And listen, whatever you were before or whatever you do once you're out there, I don't care. So long as you don't bring UC security to our doorstep. Every member of Constellation is their own conscience. Understood?
Zrozumiano.
Let's take a little stroll through New Atlantis, shall we?
I am at your service, Captain.
Dobra, pytanie, jak mogę sobie zmieniać towarzyszy? Dobra, wyjdźmy sobie, moi drodzy, do Nowej Atlantydy. I myślę, jako że niedługo muszę je zbierać, bo nie... to zrobię sobie, moi drodzy, saveola. I do zobaczyska. Trzymajcie, jeszcze zrobię sobie szybki zapis. I do zobaczyska, trzymajcie się.